much for the press conference. My name is Willie Timber. I'm a freelance reporter. Now, in the spirit of transparency, you have informed us that Advocate Chamisa was overwhelmingly nominated. You said by about 35,000 nominations. Would you be kind telling us other nominees for the presidential candidates that we actually perhaps contesting against him? That's number one. Number two, we have recently seen pictures circulating, perhaps Advocate Chamisa in a plane, a pic that looks like a selfie or something of that sort. And the word is that he has actually traveled to the US. Is this true? If it's not true, where is Advocate Chamisa as we speak?
Thank you. Do you have a question?
Stella mwefa Chamisa. Mfunzo wangu ngoro maererano ni kuti varume nevakadzi uye mayuth vachange vakamirirwa zvakamira sei mumarepresentations enyu. Tichaisa ZANU-PF inoti 30% vakadzi ndo mutemo unayo, handisi kuti vanotevedzera here. Imimiwo munoti chii maererano neizvozvo tisingatarisi quota system yemuconstitution? Imimi mungava une quota system here mutarisa vechidiki pamwe chete nevakadzi?
Thank you very much. Let me respond to my brother Quads. First, we confirmed this with existing residue that President Chamisa was overwhelmingly nominated. Let me maybe clarify that we are not going into a contest. It was a nomination process and never a contest. The citizens of this country were the ones given the mandate to nominate, not the candidates nominating themselves. It was the citizens nominating, and the residue that we've received has only confirmed Advocate Chamisa. If there is any other candidate, maybe in other political parties, other candidates have been nominated, but in the citizens movement, Advocate Chamisa, so far with the residue that we have, unless there can be other nominations that can be requested by anyone to make any nomination, but thus far, that's the nomination that we have, and Advocate Chamisa was nominated from across the entire part of the country. We are very happy for us as a movement because we have a strong electable presidential candidate, contrary to our competitors who have an unelectable and unpopular presidential candidate. And that's why their intention in their little corners and fiefdoms was to try and smuggle any other candidate who's weaker. So as the citizens, as the people of Zimbabwe are happy that the citizens nominated a candidate who has a very greater chance of bringing the much needed democratic breakthrough. The question on President Chamisa's travel, look, I'm sure you are aware that the constitution of this country allows anyone to travel freely anywhere across the entire part of the country and the globe. But let me confirm that President Chamisa had a few meetings in the African continent and he's back in the country. As I'm speaking to, he's actually having a meeting with our elections department in his office. And we have had briefing with the principal according to our procedures, and he's rightly in the country and he's continuing with his political business in the country.